Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships today. So, apologies a little bit with the video schedule lately. I realized a couple of days ago I didn't actually post a video on Saturday. Last Saturday on the Dunkirk, doing an upgrade commander build. And then this video today is later than what I like. I like to have them out in the morning, European time. And that's due to a few reasons. One is I've had a first American visitor here to be with my wife and I, Mrs. Flimsy, here in Norway for over 2 years. It's the first time we've ever had a guest from the US since COVID. So he was with us for almost a week. He just left, just came to the airport and getting back now. And then the secondly is actually had a fun work project I've been working on this week. So a few different things going on. So I'm hoping to add the Dunkirk upgrade commander build video in on this weekend, as well as what ship we're talking about today here, an epicenter and random battles on islands of ice. Here in the tier 8 British battleship, the Monarch. This is a ship I've been playing for a bit, trying to get a feel for it. And with submarines coming back into the game, which you're going to see here in matchmaking, and we're going to have to deal with the pesky submarine, talking about battleship gameplay with that, I figured it was a good video of what happens here in the battle. So I'm divisioned up with my clanmates, Doombeagle and the Harbin. That ship is terrible. That ship needs so many buffs. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe how bad that ship is. So anyhow, talking about the Monarch. So let's go into the player opinion on the WoW's Wiki and the performance, and I'll put this in the description below. Tier 8 Monarch plays much like predecessor King George V, a tier below, with noticeable improvements in the caliber of her guns and her anti-aircraft suite. Unlike King George V with her 10 14-inch guns, Monarch is equipped with a more competitive main battery comprised of 9 15-inch guns and 3 triple-barrel turrets. Each barrel reloads in a mere 25 seconds, faster than even Bismarck's 8 15-inch guns. However, Monarch's secondary battery leaves something to be desired, unlike her German peer. It isn't worth investing upgrades or commander skill points in improving. Her anti-aircraft battery is somewhat similar story, with a weak long-range bubble, but a fairly strong mid-range one. Monarch won't be able to deter determined airstrikes on her own, especially from equal-tiered aircraft carriers or higher, but she can make them costly with advanced fire training and or a guns modification 1. Out of all the tier 8 battleships, Monarch also has the least health. I should also make note there, I waited to shoot the Monarch until he was about to go behind the island, so he couldn't shoot me, so that was on purpose. Out of all the tier 8 battleships, Monarch also has the least health, lagging behind her contemporaries by a good 6,000 hit points or more. She also has a large superstructure, which is easy to hit with high explosive shells. She is more akin to a butterfly than royalty, and should seek to avoid the limelight. Her health and squishy superstructure means that Monarch does not take hits very well and should not attempt to tank damage from multiple sources simultaneously. While Monarch's guns stack up damage rather well, don't count on racking up citadels on enemy battleships. The comparative lower caliber of Monarch's 15 inches versus the 16 inches found on North Carolina and Amagi hurt her penetration against contemporary battleships. Instead of shooting at their waterlines, captains should shift their aim a little higher in order to strike an enemy battleship above their main belt armor, which you're going to see examples of this in today's battle. Unfortunately, her main guns can only reach out to a range of 18.1 kilometers. It's a good thing she has access to the spotting aircraft consumable, which can extend her range out by 20% for a short time. It is not Monarch's guns that make her fearsome, however. Fully kitted out in a concealment build, Monarch can have a detection range of 11.5 kilometers, making her the stealthiest battleship at her tier spread. This concealment mitigates her relatively fragility and the limited range of her main guns. It allows Monarch to pick and choose her fights, to control her engagements to a higher degree, and run away when needed. And all this is what makes Monarch unique. It turns an otherwise average and uninspiring battleship into one that can improve or can move around and impact the outcome of a match with a greater degree of flexibility than many of her contemporaries. So if you want to look at the pros and cons, you can check out that link below. But we need to talk about what's happening here. So when I moved up on this flank, I wanted to support our Sashio player. I can't go past the island with him, but I wanted to support him as much as I can, so I moved his flank. Doom and the Harbin with a limited gun range has to kind of fight more in the mid, but he's moving in aggressive. Doom does not like passive play. That is just him. That is his play style, and he's just how things work for him. So unfortunately, he goes down there. You have seen we have detected our Sashio player has detected a U-2501. We've dropped 1 depth charge, got 2 floodings, and right now he's not visible. And there's actually a point here when I was reviewing this clip. You can actually see some oil spots on the surface of the water, almost where our allied submarine is. And the oil slicks are newer to me, of course. It's something that they've been updating out of. This is probably the 10th change they've made of submarines. Can't keep track. But he jumps right on me and doing that stealthy attack where they come right at you. Only one of the torpedoes he fires actually is going to hit. The others he launches too deep and they're not able to rise and hit me. So that could have been a lot worse. Submarines work really well in that tactic. We're just jumping right up out of the water onto you and dumping a bunch of torpedoes into your side. So with the enemy positioning me or detecting me, he can just check out his mini map, and that was how he was able to work that well. So it was rather frustrating. They've also changed what damage you can do to a submarine. Used to, if they were 20 kilometers or above, you could damage them. If they were beneath that, you got this X, impossible to hit target. But now they've changed that as well. So here I'm using the depth charge airstrike. I'm tracking these oil slick spots on the surface of the water, trying to get a good feel to where he might be. That at least is nice in that sense, although I overlead on that one. And he's right here. So you can see that X already appearing and possible to hit. I can't remember if he was actually got up above the 20 here. But the Sashio player, I asked for support. He's come back to help me, which is great. You can use depth charges. But we have this German destroyer moving up now. That is the Z-23. And so I need to support my Sashio player. So we get a good 3 pins there with the British HE on Monarch with these 15-inch guns. It really does hurt. The HE is really good on these British battleships. So, you know, my Sashio player is helping me out. I want to work with my Sashio and helping him out. So we can work together as a team here. You know, we got these 2 destroyers pushing up on the flank. Our allied submarine is coming over to help. Nice 5,198 hit there. But I have to turn out. You know, Z-23 can have some torpedoes coming in, showing broadside to North Carolina and a VIII. So this isn't good. Not good what's happening right now. I can't see anyone. There's the torpedoes, so that's why we took this turn to the north. And we're going to pop our heel, try to mitigate how much damage we're taking. I don't want to use a DCP because I only have 1 fire lit on me right now, so if there's 2, then we'll look to use a DCP. But I need to get away, and I'm looking at the mini-map, and then you're going to see me kind of turn and look, where I realize I need to get behind this island. So we're going to go hard to starboard, to our right, and get this island between us, the North Carolina, and the VIII. Trying to go dark here because they are providing spotting for the Z-23. I'm not able to do anything about. In the meantime, the submarine did go down. I think our Sashio, I think it was him who took him out, so that's good. Z-23 again, lit. So this is a bad situation. So honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to live here, but this is what makes the difference sometimes. So VIII actually gives up on shooting me. I don't know if he just doesn't think he can hit me with those 2 little islands in the way. North Carolina is still going for me, of course. But I want to support, again, my destroyer. I'm going to support the submarine. We get an incapacitation, no damage there, unfortunately. Because I'd like for my Sashio to live. Because if he lives, it's going to be a huge help with these 2 battleships pushing in with how low my health is. And the submarine gets to take out the Z-23, so that's great. We get to pop our heel right at the end there as we go around the island. Wanted to get some shots off on the left-hand task. And we barely survived that volley from the North Carolina. And now we're just going to slow down and we're going to park. We're not going to keep running past this island because that can end up with the VIII detecting us. The goal is now to stay dark. We still have 2 repair parties left. We need to use them. So let's talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the Monarch. She's not a fantastic tier 8 battleship, nor is she a bad tier 8 battleship. She's in there. It's taking me a little time just to get kind of used to the play style of these different battleships and testing, going up the line. You know, King George I really liked. I probably liked the King George a little bit better than the Monarch, maybe just because it's lower tier. Trying to get these shells over the island, and I end up getting detected here with non-pins, so that cost. But often how I find myself utilizing the Monarch is I am constantly finding myself kind of getting in this kiting away position, right? Where I can kite, I can throw a lot of HE because HE does really good damage. She's by no means a tanky battleship. I think you saw we took a Citadel earlier. There's this ASUS getting torpedoes in, really helping me out here. And now I need to open up the distance, and he takes out the VIII. And now we've got this North Carolina who's turning away, disengaging. And I've also, on the mini-map, I've got a Marco Polo moving up. He's on the 5 line, but he could be anywhere 6, 7 line even maybe by now. Probably not 7 line. Yeah, there he is, just entered into the 6 line. And he's shooting sap at us. So as soon as... we've had constant threats, right? So sitting behind the island no longer works because, you know, he would have detected me. We get a fire, which is good. And right now the enemy team has control of all the caps. We have just contesting the outer ring. So I type in chat that we need to slow their points. This is possibly still winnable, right? Enemy team on the score timer, you can see on the top, is going to run in 35 seconds. But this is still possibly winnable. That is the difficulty when you have teams that aren't so focused on contesting the rings in Epicenter. It can make it really challenging. But if you look at our ship lineup, we still have 2 submarines. Both of them are still active, and we have both of our destroyers, and that makes all the difference in the world. When you have a destroyer player, or a destroyer like the ASUS left alive here, you know how I focused in trying to help him out and take out the Z-23, take some shots at the Fantask. It made all the difference, right? And so here he is coming up, supporting with these deep water torpedoes, and there's the Olin torpedoes, the second set trailing behind there. And he's actually going to get the Marco Polo here. We'd actually just switched to armor piercing because the Marco Polo is getting comfortable showing so much broadside. And I was still focused on that upper belt plating. We wouldn't go necessarily for the Citadel with these 15-inch guns. So Marco Polo has been taken out, right? So they were really close to winning there. We're now contesting 2 of the 3 rings. And now we need to get into the mid because, again, they're going to win in just roughly 40 seconds. So we've got this North Carolina in the middle. He was the one who was kind of harassing us earlier and pushing up the flank. I've switched back to high explosive. At long range, this armor piercing just really doesn't do anything. Really, it's for broadsiding cruisers. But the HE is always pretty dependable. You always get really good damage. I mean, you saw 11k salvo. Not only gets better as you go up to the Conqueror, but I want to help out my teammates as much as possible. We just get the high caliber there, but I want to help use the spotter plane as our sub takes out the Genon. I pronounce that. But I want to help bring this North Carolina's health down as much as possible because it's going to help out our destroyer players. It's going to help out the submarine. Getting him down as low as possible because basically, I mean, we need the kills. We are contesting all, we have the outer ring, but we're contesting both the 2 mid-center and the mid-ring. So really close, the battle here. So, you know, ideally in this situation, it'd be nice to be much closer to the epicenter, to the rings. But, you know, with how the destroyers, the battleships were pushing us, I couldn't turn around yet. You can see that Marco Polo actually got a good slap in on me. But now the goal is to close the distance. I'm going to get just 1 more volley off with the spotter plane. You can see there's a lot of torpedoes on the way to that North Carolina. So I'm going to turn in directly towards the cap here in a minute. I don't want to avoid the cap ring, right? But I want to get this volley off. I'm just trying to get past this island. I'm afraid I'm going to just... yeah, so I get past it. But those Asashio torpedoes, they hurt. So you can see his health has quickly disappeared, and then there's the U-2501 again stepping in, getting a kill. He's definitely going to be the kill secure guy in this battle. Okay, so now we're going to sail directly towards the cap. There's 3 upgrades on the modules that really helps. This is a fully upgraded module Monarch that you're seeing, and I'll break it down in tomorrow's upgrade and committer build video, giving you more of my thoughts and opinions, talking a bit more about the ship. But this was a really close battle. And I did get angry with my team when I tapped like, hey, we need to slow their points. If we don't contest their points, they're going to win. So a match that looked definitely like we were going to lose ends up, we're able to turn it back around into our favor. So now it is, what, 6 versus 2, okay? So I'm using my depth charge airstrike. I'm trying to fish to figure out where the Summers might be if his AA is on. Because I want to know where he's at. It could be dangerous if I push in close and he just pumps a bunch of torpedoes into me. So you can see the outer ring is being taken, and I'm about to step on it. This is why I was like, okay, I need to start sailing directly towards the cap, because, again, I need to stop their points intake. They do, the U-2501 again takes out the enemy Kagero, so that's fantastic. So now it's just this pesky Summers left, and we have our trusty British HE ready to go, and we can see he is in the outer ring, so he's contesting my cap progress, so I'm going to let my team know about this in chat, just so they're aware. We do get the mid ring, and we're just about to flip the center, so that's great. And so right now they have no points sticking for the enemy team. I'm zooming in here, seeing anything yet, nothing. And then in the snowstorm, it further reduces our concealment radius. Oh, detectability range 11.5. So I was wondering about that this time when I was looking that up. So I'm going to take this outer ring here. It doesn't matter at this point if we kill him or not. We will win. We have the time on our side. You can see we'll win in just under 2 minutes with just under 3 minutes left in the battle. So that's great. So this is good. So he's still somewhere. Our team, they're approaching where he was last detected, but he's still not located. So I'm wondering, is he pushing towards me? Possibly. I mean, I have this Oland out in front of me, which is really helpful in this scenario. And there he is. So we're going to get the front turrets off. And that earns us the Confederate achievement, so we get a nice chunk, it's 3 pins. And I have to hold off on the temptation of firing the rear turret, because I'm expecting him to dump some torpedoes my direction. As Summers, he gets 3 racks of 4, so yeah, 4, 8, 12 torpedoes. So instead, we're going to sidestep to the right here, and there indeed is the first rack that, I'm not sure if he's aiming for the Owen, but if I'd used my rear turrets, I would have exposed more of my ship. Get another salvo off here. I'm priority selecting if I get close enough with secondaries. 3 incapacitations. So we actually get a lot of incapacitations in this battle, too, which is kind of funny. So we'll see the end result of that. But he's almost dead, and I'm really hoping he's going to live for me to kill him with the salvo. So let's see how accurate this battery is. I have no idea what that second volley is. You can see how wide the shots were. But no, we just get another incapacitation ribbon, so... yeah, I found that rather trollish of the RNG and spreading that second salvo. So over 673,000 credits, 13,433 experience, 4,200 free XP, Confederate Dreadnought, high caliber, 134,000 damage, 17 incapacitations. You will do a lot of incapacitations with this British battleship HE, and oddly enough, 5 floodings from 4 depth charge hits and a few secondary ribbons in there as well. And surprisingly enough, I actually topped the team. I didn't think I was going to top the team. I didn't get any kills, but we got over 2,600 base experience. So it was a really good game there. And I think that U-2501, he was definitely getting some kill secures in there on those low health targets. But hey, we needed the kills, so no harm, no foul. Here you can see the damage layout. We actually took, was that over 1.6 million potential damage. A lot of the damage you can see was definitely on the Marco Polo, and we actually 14,000 Z23. We had over, I think it's 5,000 on the Summers and over 2,000 on the Le Fantasque. So I was definitely going for the destroyers, enemy destroyers when I could, because you saw with our enemy destroyers alive at the end of the battle, it made a huge difference, especially that Asashio player doing really well with those deep water torpedoes that hurt so much, and I had been on the receiving end of that, so hats off to him. So tomorrow, like I said, we will be doing upgrade and commander build of the Monarch. We'll go over modules, upgrades, consumables, commander skills, and I hope to also fit the Dunkirk in at some point this weekend. It might not be till Sunday, or maybe it's an additional video that I throw in on Tuesday outside the normal schedule. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch you here next time. Take care.